Hello, good morning. I'm Melanie Shufflebotham. I'm the co-founder and director of Zap Digital, and we have a digital software electric car charging platform. Robert did a very good introduction, couldn't have asked for a better introduction to give a sort of high-level view of the low carbon, and I'd like you to just imagine walking out of this building and seeing, instead of the cars we see there now, seeing some high-tech, zero-emission electric cars gliding silently through our streets. Air quality issues would be no more. Cars would no longer would have a minimal impact on climate change, and petrol stations would be a thing of the past. So that's great. In the current climate, that may seem fanciful to having electric cars everywhere, but already there are over 100,000 electric cars in the UK and 2 million globally. The market is set to move from this early adopter stage. There's a lot of factors which are now all aligned to make electric car market to start to grow extremely fast. The vehicles are there, the range is there. As Chris said, battery prices are falling. There's a lot of government support, and most importantly, the consumers, especially with all these air quality and emission issues, are really coming around to the fact that knowing that electric cars are the future. So conservative estimates are that the number of new cars sold that are electric will move from 1.5% of the market today to 10% in 2020 to around 20% or even more by 2024, when the market is seen to be tipped. And this will conservatively mean there will be 2 million electric cars on UK streets and thousands of electric car charging points. This is where Zap Digital comes in. We are there to be the digital layer to help EV drivers find, locate and navigate to charging points. We want to make charging EV easy and help the migration to mass e-mobility. So what is our technology? Effectively, we are a software platform, so different from what we've seen already today, and we are connecting up the charge point networks, the EV drivers, and the cars, the electric cars themselves, which, as you know, now have a lot of communication points on them. The platform comprises of 3 different areas. Firstly, the database. So there are already 6,000 electric car charging points in the UK, which we aggregate, not just the static data, but also live dynamic data from the networks. Secondly, there is the technology layer. So the core product is an app on desktop, iOS, and Android, and in the future on CarPlay and Auto Android. This has a number of technical features within it, such as route planning, search, filter, and other mapping functionality. And then thirdly, and very importantly, is the community layer. So this community layer allows EV drivers to communicate with each other to let people know about the status of their charging, let people know when the charging points are out of order, and it also provides a channel for the networks to be able to communicate back to their EV drivers, to their users. So this charging platform connects up EV drivers, the charge point networks, and the cars themselves to make charging easy. So maybe you'll be asking, what's the problem? You get an electric car, you go out, there's some charging points, there's no problem. The reality is that it is the number one barrier to EV adoption in the UK is the perceived and real problems with accessing charging. If you have an EV today, probably 60% of charges happen at home, so you would have a charging point. A further 30% would happen at work, but there is 10% which happens on the charging point network. And talking to our users, key issues, the sort of number one basic issue that people have is they want to find an available charging point. So they need to be able to see all the charging points. There are lots of different networks who all have their different information sets. We aggregate it all so people can find a charge point, find out whether it's working, find if it's compatible with their car, find a rapid charge point which they may need en route versus a slower one for a destination charger. Second issue is I want to be able to plan my routes. EV drivers have different considerations. The typical range today is 200 miles. Often people are doing more than 200 miles. They need to be able to factor in the state of their battery charge. So they need EV route planning, they need range, they need dynamic feeds. Is the charge point working? And then thirdly, the issue that if you speak to any EV driver today, I don't know whether anyone is an EV driver, it's the myriad of different cards and apps that you need to be able to actually access, either access to get free charging or to pay for your charging point. So that will aggregate all of the charging point networks and have a payment layer to enable people just to have one way of paying for the charging point. So these issues are real issues today for EV drivers, but are particularly pertinent to fleets. As I'm sure many of you are aware that the whole e-mobility sector is exploding, car sharing, private hire taxis, fleets moving to be electric. So these issues are very important, plus also the need to be able to have management information and simple charging to enable all these new types of companies to exist. The current status, we currently already have a desktop, an Android and iOS app out there. It's been in the market for 18 months. We have aggregated dynamic network information from two key networks initially, and we've got 2 more coming in the next month, which will give us 50% of the market. That's a unique proposition. No one else has done anything like that in the market, and we have a payment platform demo. We're number 1 in the UK market. We've got 50,000 cross-platform users every month using our platform, and around 2,000 Zap chats, which is our community layer of people updating the data and giving last-mile information to the EV community. We're very well known in the industry, and we've been selected by industry users as industry players as the main charging point resource, charging point information. People use us for statistics, people use us for lots of different things. In terms of commercially, how have we got to where we are? We've bootstrapped our company to date. We've had a number of R&D grants to help us along the way. We have initial revenues from data licensing, market insights, and advertising. And in the future, we will also have payment from the transactional payment from the payment layer. We're on target to reach 100,000 revenue this year. We've got an experienced executive team that myself, my co-founder Ben Lane, I am Red. My background is in marketing and digital, and he is a technical specialist in the EV market. We have a non-executive board of 3 experienced executive and an operational team of 4. So our ask is that we're looking for investment of £500,000. Really, we're looking for an investor who loves the EV market, can see the growth, and wants to get in early before the EV market really starts to explode in the next few years. We'll be using the money for continued software development and then sales and marketing to defend our position in the UK and be in a position to expand internationally. Thanks very much for your time, and if anyone would like to see the app or talk, I'll be around later.